we will be making confidence picks on the program. 6 of them, the Schubert Six, a little alliteration for everybody. I can't just make 3 picks, right? We got to go big or go home. So I'm going to make 6 selections every Friday during the football season. And I don't know what the punishment it will be if I lose like more than 50%. We'll come up with that as the year goes on. But the goal is to hit on more than 50%. The goal is also to hit more often than not on the big points, the 6-pointer and the 5-pointer, the two most confident plays that we're going to have every week. So without further ado, and you know that if we're going to do this, come on. It's the most used sounder on my soundboard right now because it's the best thing we have. It's our NFL music. So the Schubert Six, my 6 plays for this week in the NFL, and I'm using the lines courtesy of, I believe I got these from ESPN Bet when I was on ESPN earlier looking at the game. So that's where all of these lines are from. And we will start with the 1-point play. And my 1-point play this week, I said it was a bounce back spot for them. I said that after playing a close game the prior week, showing that you belonged, this was the perfect rebound opportunity. You're at home. You're playing a bad team. If you are a good team, like everybody, and myself included, thinks you are, that you're a little bit ahead of schedule, you win this game and you cover the number. It's a big number. I think it's actually moved from the number that I had it at. I believe it's up to 9.5 now, and I'll take it at 9.5 if that's what the numbers are right now. But give me the Washington Commanders to cover the, yes, now 9.5 against the Carolina Panthers. Look, Panthers aren't going anywhere. Panthers have benched their quarterback. Panthers got the 1-game bounce with Andy Dalton, but they have not been very good. You know who has been good? The Washington Commanders. The Washington Commanders almost beat the Baltimore Ravens. The Washington Commanders have a rookie quarterback that is lighting it up. The Washington Commanders have a coaching staff that is getting the most out of their players right now. The Washington Commanders are a team that can win their division because the rest of the NFC East is just wide open right now. So you know what? The only reason why it's a 1-point play is it's a huge number. It's 9.5. It's a 2-score spread for the Commanders at home. I believe they cover this. I believe they cover this with ease. I honestly don't think I'm going to sweat this game, but just because of how big the number was, and because it is still the Commanders, I still want to see a little bit more. I don't have a ton of institutional belief in Washington just yet. I believe they're a good team, but they've only been around with this group for a couple of games. They are my 1-point play. My 2-point play, it is making me very unpopular in the building. Because down the hall at KUPD, Holmberg, massive Steelers fan. Me, New York born and raised, huge Jets fan. We have been going back and forth in the hallway all week long. We have at one point called an embargo of we would not interact with each other. So this is not going to do me any favors, but I am taking the Jets minus the 2 against the Steelers as my 2-point play. The Steelers making a quarterback change. We can debate whether or not they should have made that quarterback change. They are 4-2 with Justin Fields. Russell Wilson is now healthy. They're kind of 4-2 in spite of their offense. Their defense has carried a lot of the weight. That's the way a Mike Tomlin team has kind of done things the last couple of years. So they're making the change to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has kind of been owned by the Jets defense as of late, the last couple of years when he was with Denver. The Jets have kind of had his number, and his defense is looking for a bounce-back performance. Russ hasn't played a ton with this group, if at all. So a favorable matchup for the Jets. Devontae Adams in tow. The Jets need to have this game. They know they need to have this game. There are a few mulligans left for this team before it's going to get late early, and I think this is probably the last one. They are 2-point favorites on the road in Pittsburgh on Sunday night. Give me the Jets to cover the 2 against the Steelers. My 3-point play, I mentioned not wanting to move the Commanders up the confidence ladder just because of how big the number was. And I'll tell you, I'm taking a team with a big number here. But I have more institutional belief in this team. I've seen this team cover big numbers before. I just watched this team play a close game on Monday night against a good team. They're now playing a bad team. They're home. Josh Allen and company feel like they're getting it all together. They're getting everything flowing in the right direction. So you know what? For my 3-point play, give me the Buffalo Bills to cover the 8.5 against the Tennessee Titans. I do not trust this Tennessee Titans offense to do anything against the Bills. And I expect the Bills to do everything against this Tennessee Titans defense. Again, you can't put it higher than a 3-point play because of how big the number is. It's 8.5. It's a touchdown plus. But if you're telling me that you don't think that the Buffalo Bills can cover a touchdown plus against the Tennessee Titans at home, coming off of a big win, starting to look like they're getting things in motion, playing a bad football team, a team that they should give fits to, I mean, it should be difficult for Will Levis and company to do anything on offense. So give me the Buffalo Bills to cover the 8.5 against the Titans. Have I taken 3 favorites? Yes. Do I like that I've taken 3 favorites? No. Do I like that I've picked the 2 games with some of the largest numbers this week? No. Is there another big number coming? Absolutely. My 4-point play, look. The Chargers are just a bad matchup. It's just a bad matchup for the Cardinals. And I know the Chargers haven't wowed anybody. They haven't blown anybody out. They've played close games. It's the way that they're designed. They are a team that's going to play low-scoring affairs. They're going to play good defense. They're going to stop the run. They're going to run the ball. They're going to control the turnover battle. They're going to control the time of possession. They're going to play close, low-scoring, one-score games late. But they match up so terribly for the Arizona Cardinals, and this number is only 2 points right now. You're telling me that if the Chargers win this game, it's going to be by less than a field goal? It's just not happening. This has 27-17. This has 27-20 written all over it. This has 17-30. Like this game has Chargers cover by a touchdown all over it. And if you're going to tell me that I only have to give 2 points as a road team against a team that I match up so well against, now this scares me because what does Vegas see that I don't see? Why are the Chargers only a 2-point favorite? I know they're on the road, but it's not like they're traveling that far. The Chargers fans are going to travel well to that building on Sunday or Monday. It's going to be a good Chargers contingent there. And they've got the better quarterback. They've got the better coach. They've got the better team. They match up well. I don't understand. How can this not be a slam dunk top 3 pick for the week? Well, it is for me. Give me the Chargers laying the 2 points against the Cardinals. My 5-point play. So far to recap, Commanders -8.5 versus the Panthers, the 1-point play. The Jets -2 versus the Steelers is my 2-point play. The Bills giving me 8.5 against the Titans is my 3-point play. The Chargers giving the 2 against your Arizona Cardinals is my 4-point play. So we get into the big ones. These are the ones you have to have. And we've gone all favorites so far. So how about with our 4-point play, we get ourselves an underdog? How about we get some points? And you know what? I know the team that they're playing is undefeated. I know they're one of the last few remaining undefeated. It's one of 2 left in football right now. I know they're home. I know they're coming off a bye. I know they're well coached. I know all of those things. But I saw just enough to tell me that Minnesota might be starting to fall back a little bit. The Jets defense showed me just enough to think, you know what? Teams can get after Sam Darnold. He has not completely turned things around. They have not completely reinvented Sam Darnold, and he is a slam dunk MVP candidate. You cannot convince me that we're there. I think a little bit was shown. And the Detroit Lions basically had a de facto bye last week against the Dallas Cowboys. They blew them out on the road. They walked into Dallas and completely owned the Cowboys, so much so that it created sports talk radio waves in Dallas with Jerry Jones going after radio hosts. Talked about that this week here on the show. And I'm getting points as the team that just blew out the Dallas Cowboys. I'm getting points as one of the best offensive teams in the league. I'm getting points as a 4-1 football team. I got Jared Goff. I'm playing in a dome. He doesn't play poorly in a dome. Give me the Lions plus the 1.5 against the Vikings. I think this is the week the Vikings go down, and they go down at the hand of their division rival. They go down at the hand of Jared Goff, and the Detroit Lions give me the 1.5. I think the Lions win this game outright. But if you're going to give me a 1.5, I'll take a 1.5. And now, the 6-point play. The thing I am most confident in this week in the NFL schedule. And this is another one where I need to be told what Vegas knows that I don't. I know this team's 2-4. I know they're on the road. I know the team they're playing is a defensive-minded team. But this is one of the best offenses in all in football. This is one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. Schematically, a team that is firing on all cylinders this year. The reason why they are 2-4 is not because of their offense. They have scored a ton of points. Their defense is the thing that has lagged behind. And you're telling me that this defense, after showing that they can show up against bad quarterback play, and they did it on the road in New York against the Giants and Daniel Jones, they now get to go up against the stubborn Browns who continue to play Deshaun Watson. The Cincinnati Bengals are only 5.5-point favorites? You're telling me that you think the Cleveland Browns are going to be able to keep this close? That means you're telling me that the only way they're doing this is that their defense is just playing out of their mind. And I just don't see it. I think Joe Burrow, I think this offense continues to roll. I think this defense found something against a bad team in the New York Giants, against a bad quarterback in Daniel Jones. I think they are able to rebound in a big way. I think they are able to cover the 5.5 against the Cleveland Browns. So one more time, the recap for you. My 1-point play, the Commanders giving 8.5 against the Panthers. My 2-point play, the Jets giving 2 against the Steelers. My 3-point play, the Bills minus 8.5 versus the Titans. My 4-point play, the Chargers giving 2 against the Cardinals. My 5-point play, give me the 1.5 with the Lions against the Vikings. And my 6-point play, the Schubert Six, the thing I am most confident in this weekend, give me the Bengals to cover against the Browns in Cleveland. So there you have it. I'll give myself a round of applause for the first edition of the Schubert Six, and hopefully we have a good weekend. And if you choose to follow these bets, you do so at your own peril, because I don't know how good I am at this, but it is a fun little way to keep tabs on the NFL season.